Welcome to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 78 of The Joy of Coding. We're back. We're hacking on Firefox today. My name's Mike Conley. It's going to be a great day. We're digging into some code. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. So let's get started. Here's my screen, and here's the agenda. Pumping up the font as usual. Okay, today is November 2nd, and a reminder, no plan survives breakfast. What I've got here is kind of a list of things I want to do, but I haven't pre-scripted anything really. Like, I don't know how these things are going to go. Things might go wrong. I might not get all the way through it. I might get sidetracked. Who knows? So, it's all good. One thing I want to point out, though, is that the links that are available in here are actually available to you. This whole agenda is full of stuff that you might want to click on and follow along with. If you go to the additional links section, if you're watching this on Air Mozilla, there should be a link to the agenda that you can follow. And if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch or something, then it'll be in the description. I say Twitch because hopefully I'll be broadcasting to Twitch soon. Maybe you're watching this on Twitch now. Who knows? But if so, then hopefully I've put the link to the agenda somewhere where you can easily find it. And as the agenda is updated, this little thing will spin, and then hopefully you get an up-to-date agenda if you reload the page. So, what are we working on today? Self-check, is everything working? Yes, I'm recording. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. What we're working on today, I got a couple of bugs in my queue that I want to poke at. The first one is something that I landed a fix for yesterday, but it bounced. And by bounced, I mean like it. I landed it, but some tests failed, and that's not good. And so it got backed out. And so I'm hoping we can investigate it and re-land it. If we can figure out why the tests failed. Maybe we can fix the tests or fix the patch if there was actually a problem with the patch. So uh, first thing to do is, like, where am I in my tree? I've got a central from Tuesday early in the day checked out, so I don't think I actually have the patches that got backed out. So I can actually apply those. I can pull these two changes maybe. I'll import them. So I don't want to have to do like a big like pull from central to waste time, have to do a build. So I'm going to I'm going to do an import from MozReview to just sort of apply the patches to where I am in the tree, which is on top of central, and then here's the other one. It's possible I could have done the import of both. Like I don't know if if import will do all the dependencies, like if it will take a whole range, but I have a feeling it doesn't. But there's probably a command that allows me to import like a bunch of commits all at once. But now I've applied both patches, and so they should be on top of my tree. Yes, they are. Now I'm going to build faster, because both of the patches, if you look at the squash diff, both of the patches are JavaScript based, so build faster just does all the JavaScripty stuff. And I had landed it on try, and it had looked okay, but apparently it broke things for DevTools, which is very surprising. And it's possible I just didn't run all of the right tests in all the right places. Like, doesn't look like I ran the DevTools tests, and I have a feeling that's where the failure occurred. So if we go inside the bug, there should be details on why I was backed out. So Sebastian, aka Eric's or Archaeopteryx, let me know that he backed me out. Thank you for that. It's actually indeed a service. I don't have to back myself out. Our sheriffs will do it. And he said that I failed a test in here, and I suspect it's this one. Browser permission door hanger, apparently. This one is, I believe, this is the one he highlighted. Browser permission door hanger. In DevTools client responsive. So in the responsive design mode in DevTools, I failed a test. And there's already an intermittent filed, and I happened to make it perma. And this intermittent only showed up 2 months ago, or was first filed 2 months ago. but I apparently made it perma. So let's see if I can reproduce the issue, and I can do it in an opt build. I don't need to use debug, so if I just do mock moki test browser permission door hanger, pass the path. Let's see if I fail the test with my 2 patches on top of the tree. I probably will. Yes, I failed the test. I'm guessing this is because I changed part of the code such that it uses tab browser um, to like the tab browser element when it's possible. There are consumers of pop-up notifications that don't expect tab browser to be used. Because like basically what was going on, what this bug fix was doing was we have these notifications that show up sometimes for some pages, like we'll see a little door hanger like this show up. And what I had noticed is that it was using the doc shell is active Boolean like property to determine whether or not the tab was currently selected, the one that we cared about. And that's not in E10S mode. That's a little racy because is active is only set to false once we've stopped. I guess when we've unloaded the layers for that tab. That's part of the async tab switching stuff. And so it's possible for one or several doc shells to be active when they really shouldn't be, or when the user doesn't think they are. And so pop-up notification says, hey, my tab is currently active, so I will show that pop-up notification, and then it shows it for the current tab, which is not good. So I had changed it so it checks tab browsers, to see if the selected browser is the browser, and I don't think that is accounting for the case in this test. So let's understand what the test is doing first. It's the first step. I'm going to pause crash plan. The first step is to understand the test that's failing. So let's take a look at the source of it. Browser permission door hanger. Whoops. I've got a lot of files open in here in Sublime. I apologize. I know that some people look at like all of the open files I've got and they just cringe. So I'm going to close some. Hello? Yeah, I don't need to save that stuff. Don't need to save that. I can get rid of all of this stuff. None of this stuff is necessary to hold on to. So close, close, close. Nothing fragile in there. Don't save, don't save. Get rid of ya. Okay. So we're going to open up this test. And what does it do? So it's for the responsive design mode. Test the permission pop-ups asking for user approval still appear in responsive design mode. So what we do is we go to some dummy URL, which is some example.com page. We wait for the geolocation prompt to appear. Checks if the geolocation permission door hanger appears when opening a page requesting geolocation. So, it goes to this geolocation.html page, and we're failing to do that. I wonder why. Well, let's find out. So we can run this test again, but I'm gonna do with dash dash. Hopefully you can see this. I'm gonna sort of shrink my window a little bit. Dash dash JS debugger, which is gonna bring up the browser toolbox that allows me to, and it's gonna make it so that the test doesn't run right away. And so I get this JS debugger thing, which I can use to like set a breakpoint inside pop-up notifications. Now, pop-up notifications hasn't been imported yet. It's lazily loaded, so I'm going to import it. And now I should have access to it. Pop-up notifications, and then I'm going to look for is active browser. That's this. So I'm going to set a breakpoint there, and I'm going to run the test. And have I hit my breakpoint? I have hit my breakpoint. If I look at the call stack, I've received some kind of progress event. And what is the selected this tab browser? dot selected browser equals browser is true. So we should show it here, correct? And then I've opened the geolocation page, or I've opened it in responsive design mode. And now how about if I look at the selected browser? Should be true as well. And now the browser is an iframe. Aha! Aha! So that's a case I was not considering. Let's look at this browser thing. So it's an iframe of class browser that is a Moz browser. So it's using like, okay. That's what's requesting the pop-up notification. And now, is there a way I can resolve this to browser.parent element? Is the browser container frame loader? How do I check to see whether or not it's active without using docshell as active? Well, what's the browser being passed? I'm getting a prompt from NS Browser Glue from the iframe. From the iframe. And maybe permission prompt. Maybe that's the problem, is that I need to go further up and have it choose. Is it okay that it's passing in an iframe of type Moz browser? Because what it's going to resolve to, if I look at the call stack here, is it's going to find the selected browser, show panel now, it'll update, it'll show the panel. Where is that update call? I'm going to pump up the font again, pump up the jam. I'll play a sound for you. Update. Just notification state. Show panel, and then the anchor element. Okay. Interesting, interesting. How do we know that it's not in the background? The dock shell is active is no good, because in E10S, I guess what you want to do is see if it is in its rootmost dock shell the primary content primary content, what is it? Primary content shell, dock shell tree owner. So like if I do browser dot query interface CI/NSI web navigation, no, browser dot query interface NSI interface requester. Whoops. No, you don't have that? Browser frame loader. dot tab parent. No, frame loader owner. I want to get from this browser element owner global query interface CI NS doc shell or NSI interface requester. Query, get interface CISI web navigation. That works. Query interface. I'm just doing like a bunch of tree traversal. Doc shell. Tree item. Root tree item. Primary content shell. Primary tab content, tab parent. Root tree item. And then what is that? That is tree owner. Tree owner. Primary tab parent. Primary content shell. There we go. I think that's what we want to do. We want to see if it's the primary content shell instead of, like, does the browser... Okay, I think we can make this more generalizable. If the browser is the primary content, like the browser belongs to something, or like if you go up the doc shell chain and find out that it's within the primary content shell, then you're good to go. I think that would be good. So how do we do that? The tree, add child, find child with name, get child at, remove child, root tree items. So it's like if we can go to the tree owner of a browser, and we need to see if it like has a child, contains a child, or if there's like maybe an ancestor, we can do it that way. There's like a shared ancestor. But we have to do it where like that same root tree item, same tree owner. So it's like this. We have to go up to the root tree owner, get the primary content shell or the primary tab parent. If it's the tab parent, then we need to compare with the tab parent of the browser. Well, we could special case the e2nes thing. Okay. Maybe that's the best solution. Instead of, you look at the root tree item. No, they're not going to share the same tab parent. That's the thing. Are they? Yeah, they're not going to share the same tab parent. I don't believe they will. find the tab parent. So in the is hang on a second. Tab browser, selected browser is remote browser. True. So we have a remote browser that's somehow hosted, and then browser is also remote. How are we being passed this .tab browser selected browser? Tab browser, remote browser, and then like current URI.spec. It's at that example.com page. So how does responsive design mode work? Let's look at the markup. Browser. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Where are you? No, you won't show it to me. Okay. Deck, browser panel, content deck, browser. So we've got a tab browser here. And I can't go further. Shoot. How does responsive design mode work, is my question. Like, it says we're at this site, but clearly we're not. We're in some kind of, we're wrapping this thing. So how does that work? So let's take a look at the responsive design mode. How does it work? Responsive design and then responsive design child. So responsive design works how? There's a manager, a toggle, check if the tab's in responsive mode. If active, then open if needed. Is active for tab, then launches the responsive mode. The main window, the tab targeted. We create this responsive UI. What is that? Responsive UI. Ugh. Responsive UI, what are you? Responsive UI. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. It's in this file. Responsive UI. Let's bind some callbacks. We add a message listener. And then we must init. We load a frame script. Set up the UI. The stack is the browser stack. So we've actually changed the relationship. I can probably check this out in, do I have DOM inspector? No, I've disabled it. Okay, I'm gonna shut this test down. We don't need it anymore. I'm gonna get rid of you now. But I am gonna open up Web Developer on my own here. Because I think I'm able to, I don't know why it wasn't working in the, allowing me to get down to like the guts of the tab browser. Tab browser. Here we go. Oh, not quite. Come on, where are you? Here we go. Tab browser. And inside the tab browser, we have the tab box. So now I'm inside, and I can look. I'm going to put this last tab into responsive design mode. Stack. Is this even displayed right now? What's the... Yeah, this is the one that's being displayed. This one. And what happened to the stack? Moz DevTools highlighted had something set, and then a spacer. Interesting. And then if I like exit responsive design mode, like, because what happens to the stack? Init. Well, the presets. What do we do with the stack? Set stack. Set up the UI. Stack set attribute responsive mode true. I didn't see that, but okay. Browser container and browser stack. We set responsive mode. Overflow becomes auto. We have a transition. We do that. Response mode, no transition. Okay, that's not exactly what I was looking for. But then the container, we set responsive mode to true. Responsive mode. Container. What exactly? That's overflow auto. .css. Responsive mode. I think I just looked at these, right? Yes. Okay. And then here in the design, we do a box shadow and we set a background color. Okay, so setting these attributes might not do exactly what we want, but build UI, what does that do? Build the toolbar and the resizers. So creates a toolbar, creates a menu list, text box, creates all of this stuff, and then it appends it to the stack. Where, at what point do we create the iframe? Moz browser. Responsive design.js. Responsive design child. iframe. Moz browser. Like when I put this into responsive design mode, what does it say that we're at? Console inspector. What do I see? I'm still in here. That's so interesting. So I've somehow contained it. Oh, this is still the selected tab. Like it thinks, so we've just styled the stuff around it. And yet, how is this is some kind of like iframe now? iframe. Where is there an iframe? Here, this thing. I'm inside a browser. This selected browser. And inside the container, okay, inside the container, we have a browser stack, and then even though it's remote, what are we doing here? Then we create this iframe. Let me take a look. Moz browser in responsive design mode. Swap. Browser elements that have passed to swap are expected. Certain elements, in particular, iframe mods don't have them. Tunnel. What is tunnel? This module takes an outer Zool browser from a browse tab as described by that and wires it up to an inner iframe Moz browser element containing arbitrary page content of interest. Inner iframe is just the page content. It's not enough to replace Zool browser on its own. Zool browser comes along with a lot of associated functionality via XPL bindings. By mapping various methods from the outer browser to the inner browser, we can control the content inside the inner browser using the standard Firefox UI elements. Okay, so they like tunnel. Various browser methods access the frame loader property, including doc shell is active. We are tunneling to an inner browser with a specific remoteness, so it is simpler for the logic of the browser to assume that this tab is taken on that, even though it's not true. Ah, that's crazy. Since the actions the browser UI performs are sent down to the inner browser by this tunnel, the tab's remoteness effectively is the remoteness of the inner browser. Whoa, okay, so we're actually tricking. Oh, that's weird. Okay, okay. Interesting. Okay. But in this case, the browser in question for the geolocation prompt is the responsive design browser that we're tunneling to, and the selected browser does not equal that. Okay. Is Moz browser? Do we have some kind of like frame loader? Is Moz browser or app on the dock shell if this dock shell corresponds to an iframe browser? If we can get from a browser element. Is Moz browser or app? Okay. Is top browser element? Dock shell is get the parent dock shell. Dock shell, parent dock shell, tree item dock shell, dock shell, dock shell, dock shell, blah 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 blah. That's inside the content though. I'm outside. I'm on the outer window looking at a browser, like an element, and I have to determine whether or not the element is a Moz browser. So I could just look at the tag name. Um, oh, I could see if. So here's a kind of a workaround. Selected is active when is active browser. Return selected browser or this dot tab browser selected browser dot contains browser. Could do that. feeling that will work. Nope. WinG browser and reader parent. Test pass. Let's try that again, this time with JS debugger. Whoopsie daisy, don't want that. I was actually connecting to my current browser session. Like the test was attempting to connect to my like actual browser, I think. Okay. Like by actual browser, I mean like the browser that I've been surfing the web with today. So first thing I want to do is load up pop-up notifications again. Cdo import resource. Pop-up notifications.jsm. Whoopsie daisy. And now I will pump up the font, go to pop-up notifications.jsm, and then I will go to is active browser : so we have our code here, and now I'm going to run the test. The first one that we care about is fine, yeah. So now we're in the state where we've got an iframe browser. This .tab browser .selected browser .first child contains browser. False, even though it does it? Selected browser, parent node, stack, parent node, browser container, contains browser. False. Deck browser panel. Just get down to the guts of it again. Hey, look, I can see inside now. That's great. Tab panels. Which one do I currently have selected? This one, I think. Yes, because it lights up. We have the stack and the sidebar container. Inside the stack is nothing. We have the sidebar container, browser container. So we have the browser stack. We have this browser thing, and inside it, okay, so browser.frame owner global? No. What do I want? Frame element? Browser.parent element, or parent element is the browser container. This dot selected browser parent element. This dot tab browser. Oh, you probably can't see the stuff that I'm typing down below. Sorry. Parent element is the stack versus the container. HTML, body, div, this like React thing, viewport, viewport container, oh my goodness. The iframe, browser.isRemoteBrowser is true, even though, so the browser's the iframe. So all this fakery going on to make us think that this is the same browser. That sucks. Tunnel. Does tunnel give us some kind of hint? The frame loader might be the same. Browser frame loader equals browser.frameloader. So we could use that. They share the same frame loader. You can also use outer window ID, or they also the permanent key. Permanent key equals browser.permanent key. It's used to index various maps. When you swap content, these keys are swapped to follow content. As soon as you can match the content as the inner browser. Since when the browser you have to believe the page content is part of the outer browser. We copy and copy permanent key. We copy the permanent keys. So that's one thing we could do. Instead of doing contains, you check to see if their permanent keys match. Key equals browser.permanent key. I think that will work. And if so, well, we can put it up for review and see what some reviewers think of this idea. Build faster and run the test. Hold on a second. Some chatter that I might care about in just a second. Okay. Let's see. So that works. We passed our tests. I'm going to play a sound, a celebratory sound.
Oh, yeah. That's right!
So that's good. And now I'm going to update the commit and then push for review again. Mike de Boer. I'm actually going to update the comment here as well. We compare on permanent key instead of just comparing the selected browser and browser directly. because responsive design mode does some trickery to make us think that to a tunnel because responsive design mode is content in responsive design mode browsers in responsive design mode tunnel through a non-remote browser, though it through non-remote browser to a remote browser and then does some trickery to make a tab browser think that the non-remote browser is the remote browser, so that is the remote browser. It's comparing the result because browsers in hang on, it's browser tabs in responsive design mode put the actual content of the actual web content into a Moz browser iframe Moz browser iframe and proxy calls proxy property read write and method calls from the tab to that iframe. This is so that attempts to reload the tab end up reloading the content in the responsive design mode. Responsive design mode and not the responsive design mode viewer itself. This means that pop-up notifications from can come up from a browser in responsive design mode, but the selected browser cannot be directly compared to the browser that's being passed. Will not match the browser being passed into this function despite the browser actually being within the selected tab. We work around this by comparing frame loader instead, because I'm not going to use permanent key, I'm going to use frame loader. Instead, which is proxied from the outer Zool browser to the inner Moz browser iframe. This is a little bit of witchcraft. So mock build fast. Let's make sure this test passes again, and then I'm gonna push it up to review, and then get some builds going on try, and then hopefully get this reviewed in the short term. So that worked. Commit, amend. Let's see. Use tab browsers, selected browser, frame loader. And then see inline documentation for why I'm using the frame loader instead of just directly comparing the selected browser to the browser to the requesting the prompt, I should say. Okay, I'm going to push this up for review. Actually, what I'm going to do is pull and rebase. So how do I want to do that? HG pull dash dash rebase. That's how I'm going to do it. Making some sounds. Oh, I only pulled 3 change sets. Wow. It's not too many changes. And rebasing. Guess we haven't merged into Autoland for a while. Rip-a-doo. Push our tip review. I'm gonna re-request review. Oh, I'm gonna have to shoot. I have to reopen these. Reopen. Otherwise, it's gonna complain. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Let's squash diff. Let's take a look at the interdiff. What? Okay, and yeah, this is correct. Publish the changes, and then I'm going to re-request review from Mike DeBoer. Actually, re-requesting review to see if Mike DeBoer, see if you have a better idea than comparing against frame loader. I considered using permanent key. This fixes the test failure that backed me out. I considered using surprise responsive design mode uses some witchcraft to make the inner iframe Moz browser that it's using to host the RDM content seem like the actual tab Zool browser. See this file. considered using permanent key, but that seemed too session store specific. Not sure if it matters. Both work. Okay, and review requested. And now I'm going to trigger a try build. This time I'm going to run all the Moki tests. And all of these, all of them. Run them all. Okay, and I'm going to do both opt and debug. Good. Okay, so that's done. Woo! Remind me later. Okay, so I should probably have written down in my notes what the problem was. Turns out responsive died mode, so I got backed out. So this patch got so the patch that I first wrote got backed out. Turns out responsive died mode does witchcraft. See, hang on. I'm just gonna copy the bug comment. Mine does, I don't want to use witchcraft twice, does some tricky stuff. My new patch, my latest patch fixes the test failure, yeah. This meant that but the one thing that tunnel.js can't do, however, is make the selected browser seem equal the iframe Moz browser, which was what pop-up notifications was trying to do. My new patch compares frame loaders instead, since frame loader is proxied. Okay, so that's blocked on review. Boop. Good. Okay, so solve that problem. Hey, okay, up for review. Next problem. It's 2 o'clock. I'm hoping that I want to work on this bug next. And so what is this bug? This bug is going to slightly change the about tab crashed appearance. So gonna update checkbox work, and there's some layout bugginess that I have to contend with, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's build that, show you what I mean. So what is this bug? So I can show you my notes. So this is the sort of rough wireframe of the of what we want the tab crashed page to look like. It looks a lot different from that right now. What does it look like? Let me show you. Currently, it looks like oh, actually, I don't think I have a screenshot. But if you've ever crashed your tab, you know what I'm talking about. And this is what we're trying to make it look like. We solidified some strings, and I put sort of a work in progress version together, and it looks like this. And then I got some feedback from UX on how they want to correct it, but otherwise it looks okay. Now this I doctored up a little bit just to see what UX wanted. Like I think I did a little bit of magic to indent things, and I'm gonna need to like do it properly. So that's the work now, is to update the the UI to look like this, but with these corrections. This is the one that's kind of irking me right now. It's this like wrapping problem, and I believe there's some kind of like position absolute business going on that's screwing me up, and I have to correct that. So let's take a look. Let's run the build. So here's a tab. I'm going to crash it. Oh, shoot. So hold on a second. There's one thing I have to do before this will work properly. Is I need to get mock commands working properly. Mouse build. Crash. This one. Because by default, we disable the crash reporter, which means I don't get the full UI. And that was a pain in the butt. I couldn't figure it out for the longest time, and I finally figured it out. Is that we disable the crash reporter whenever you use mock run. It's because if you're using mock run and you probably have a local build and we don't want to like... Oh, this is currently what it looks like. I haven't actually... I must not have updated to the right revision. So this is what we're trying to change from. Where am I? Did I not? Oh, whoops! I checked out the wrong change set. I want to check this out, but actually, I want to do an experiment because, well, I'll show you in just a second. So I'm going to rebase that on top of checkbox work. Uncommitted changes, shelve them. It's concerned about that change I made to mock commands. Okay, now rebase. How are we doing for time? We got 27 minutes. We're going to see how far we can get. Hi-oh! Printing bug that someone just forwarded me. When I try printing, I just get dialog and error code regardless of the printer I select. Can you... what OS are you on? I assume... can you post your about support? There are a ton of useful printing preferences that we list in there that we can use to diagnose and hopefully reproduce. Need more information from reporter. Okay, so I've rebased and now I'm going to check this part out. Mock build faster, the changes. And now I'm not going to unshelve what I the mock commands thing I did because I'm pretty sure it's actually part of this commit. I never reverted it. So crash the content process. Okay, so this is the problem, like this wrapping problem down here. That's one of the first problems. And the reason that it's problematic is because the well, the we're doing this like really weird checkbox hackery to make it possible for us to like fake out this checkbox here. Input placeholder, text area placeholder, input anonymous div. I'm looking for the checkbox one. Progress bar. Type checkbox. I don't know why. Like, where is this? The label? It's not the label where it's coming from. Where is this checkbox hackery coming from? to make it seem like this checkbox is not um, that's so weird. Where is this coming from? Where's this checkbox hackery? From user agent. And then common, opacity, width. That's the one. Let me get rid of it. And then we have this like thing over here. Like, what is this? Common.css. Hide the actual checkbox. Create a box to style as the checkbox. So we do it on the before of the label. Oh, so interesting. Interesting. On the before of the label. So the checkbox itself. I'm going to put those rules back. But on the before of the label. Oh, that's so interesting, but so hackery. So hacky. And that's why it's wrapping around like that. Is there a way I can make it so interesting? Loss appearance, none. Border, margin, inline, checkbox. Display, inline block. Vertical line, middle. Box, shadow. We do this like interesting hackery on the labels themselves. Now, the thing I wanted to test, like I didn't know that it actually applied to the labels. That's so interesting. Was the thing I didn't know was whether what I want to try. I've got another patch in my queue which allows us to properly style checkboxes, and I want to see if I can make them look like this, and then I can work around this stuff. So like if I get rid of that, and that, and then what I do is I can try and make these rules apply. So in the style editor, I'm going to have this also apply to HTML input type equals checkbox. And then get rid of this. So not exactly what we wanted here. Checked. That's right. Checkbox check. So opacity, checkbox label box. So why is the height not set properly? (13 by 13). Computed 9 by 9 on the auto submit. Width was set by 13. Height is by 13. Why? Why is the height set like that? There we go. That's more like it. Hey. And then border. Color. That's right. So the border things will work. I have to make it like hover properly. On checkbox not disabled, hover before. Huh, that's not exactly working. Some of these are a little weird. Now the reason I'm doing all this messing around is I'm trying to make, I don't know why that label is so weird. I'm going to try and get rid of some of the weird stuff on the label. Label. That's what I want. That's what I want it to look like. That's exactly right. Okay, so I think what I want to do is restyle the checkboxes, like, because I think there's no other way for me to get the effect that I want because of the hackery we were doing. Like margin left 14px. Yeah, I can get that sort of business going on. I like that. I don't know why this one's so squished. Probably there's some weird wrapping going on. Oh, because it's all inside the email. It needs to be like, there needs to be a div in here. Okay. Like I can edit this. Something like this. Div. That's really sloppy, but you get the idea. And then get rid of the hidden. Hidden, hidden, hidden. Why are you hidden? Hidden. What? Oh, just get rid of the hidden attribute entirely. Yeah, that's more like it. We're gonna need to like maybe vertically align the input labels. Vertical align. Center? No? Vertical align middle. No? I feel like I should know how to do this. Oh, I just applied that to the element itself. But like over here, vertical align middle. No? Align middle. Come on, why isn't that working? I feel like I should know how to do this. Maybe it's supposed to be line height? No. That's the input. That's the thing. You're inside display inline block. And like top 5px. No. Like there's definitely a way of pulling the text down. I'll look at Stack Overflow, but long and the short of it is I can now style these checkboxes without using the hack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and rejig some of our preferences CSS to use that so I can avoid the hack. Okay, so where was the, that stuff was in what? Common.css? Common.css. Global in content, common.css. Common.inc.css, like checkbox. So let me see if there's like an associated bug with restyling these in content common or common.inc.css checkbox. Allow each focus and style them appropriately. Allow HTML and to have focus and style them properly. This was 9 months ago. That was before any of the restyling. Update about tab crashed for the spec. Like, what's the latest version without that line? So we'll checkbox. In content checkboxes. Patch. Checkbox. Hide the actual checkbox and then create a checkbox over here. That's so weird. Now why do you have to do that? Don't have a spec from us what to do. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of some of this stuff. So don't hide the actual checkbox. Create a box to style as a checkbox. I'm gonna look at his patch again. How did he do it? He added these rules. I'm gonna get rid of this. And I'm gonna get rid of this. And then checkbox check. So instead of doing this before business, I will do it directly there. I should look for more of these label before things. Label hover before, not disabled, hover, not before, and then checked. Label. Any other weird label things going on here for checkboxes? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's see what it looks like now. Faster. Okay. Crash. Mini dump is processed. Hey, alright, that's exactly what we wanted. That's perfect. Now I need to like align these correctly. But that's a great start. So now how do I align? I saw this on Stack Overflow yesterday. Align checkbox vertical. Vertically aligning, align checkbox vertical label. Display block with padding, vertical align bottom position relative top. Or what the heck? Vertical align middle checkbox label. I have to remember how align works. Vertical align. Vertical align checkbox label. Position relative vertical align middle. So if I were to do CSS, input type equals checkbox, Moz appearance none, height 50px, width 50px. Good. That's middle aligned. That's what we want. Okay, so you gotta do position relative, really? No, you don't. Vertical align middle should just do it. Oh, it's inside the label. The contents are inside. Like if I put it out here. I see. Is the input supposed to be inside the label? Input inside label? I feel like I should know this. First, a label is restricted in which elements contain. For example, you can only put a div between the input and the label text if the input is not inside the label. Should I put input tags inside a label tag? The label itself may be positioned for, after, or around the associated control. So yes, you can. Cannot be used when a table is being used for layout. Should I put input side label? Yes. That's apparently label. Elements used to create controls generally appear inside a form element. Where was I? Label element. Element label. Multiple references. Creates a table. Label. Label 4. Third, to associate a label with another control, the control must be within the contents of the label. So 2 labels. Label. Okay. Okay. So that's allowed, and that will allow us also to correctly line things up. Now, I'm worried about this because I want to get this landed soon. I'm worried about this like impacting all of the other checkboxes that we use in preferences. So what I might do is file a follow-up to make this work in all of preferences and only and override all of this stuff. I'm gonna override all of this stuff. Because I don't want to deal with About tab crashed. I don't have to deal with the fallout, potential fallout. So we'll work around it for about tab crashed, land that, and then we can work on converting everything and get rid of the workaround. That's my plan. One width, auto, pointer events, none, pointer events. Pointer events, initial values auto, position, MDN, pointer events, make it initial. Width, can everything be initial? I think it can. Initial. Opacity. What is unset? Unset. CSS unset. Resets to inherited value. Okay. So undo the checkbox hiding that we do for the rest of preferences. Unset. Order events unset. Position unset. And then get rid of the hide the. We're going to hide this. Display none. And then line height unset. And then we're going to do this. I don't know if that'll work. This might not work because the variable might not be available to me. I wonder if it'd be safer. Maybe I can just change all of the other checkboxes instead of being so cautious. I'm kind of second guessing myself. I think I am going to change them globally. Checkbox. Label checked. And now let's take a look inside. I I mean, this is what I had before, I think. Let's take a look inside about preferences now that I've rebuilt it, or redone it. And then I think once we take a look at that, I'm going to open a bug for switching over the checkboxes to use the new styling stuff, and then start working on a patch there. So let's take a look at about preferences. So I've got these checkboxes. How do these work? Are these proper checkboxes? Oh, we're using a Zool checkbox thing. Okay. So we're okay. This is not going to affect everything else. Whew! That's good. But we can start transitioning to those other ones. That's really nice. So I'm going to get rid of this. Are there any, now that I think about it though, are there any checkboxes in here? Input type equals checkbox. Or checkbox. There are 266. How about I just query, I'm going to query document here so you can see this. Document query selector all input type equals checkbox. There are none. Okay, great. So this will not affect preferences at all. Great. That's good news. Well, I mean, it means we can update preferences in the future. But it also means that we're only for now dealing with tab crashed. I'm pretty sure, unless there are other things that like use common.inc.css. About tab crash.css.axhtml. Common info pages .css. About tab crashes, about tab groups mitigation. Checkbox. Nope. About welcome back, checkbox. I'd be very surprised if any of the other ones are using this hackery. Search reset, checkbox, nope. Session restore, nope. Private config.zool, nope. They're just using Zool. So we're okay. We're okay. Awesome. I feel good about that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reorganize things a little bit and put the inputs inside the labels. See if it likes that. Label 4 include URL. And then label the input inside the label. And then I'm going to wrap this div class equals checkbox with label. And then over here, checkbox with label, we've got a label, we're going to put the input inside. here. Yeah, send report. Okay, let's quit this and see what it looks like. So I don't need to file a bug to update. Oh, that's good, that's good. So now I can do vertical align middle, I think, on these labels. Style editor, tab crashed. Label, vertical align middle. Right? No? How come you're not doing it? Vertical align. Oh, maybe I have to do it on the container. Shoot. So nope, that's not right. Vertical aligning. Why is this so hard? This is like the bane of every web developer's. Oh, vertical align baseline. If I top, doesn't go to the top. Just position relative. No. How was it done for the other thing? I had a mechanism. Is it because it's a flex box? Vertical align. Display inline block. No. I'm just flailing. I need to understand what's happening here. I want to get it vertically aligned. How do I do that? I was just there. Vertical align checkbox inside label. And then there was like label with a checkbox inside the label. And I did that. And then I loaded it in here. I did this JS fiddle label input Moz appearance none run, and then like width 53. Okay, so it went vertical line bottom. If I do vertical line middle on the input, that's interesting. On the input? What? Do I have to? Why would I put it on the input? Okay, well, let's try it. Vertical line middle on the input. That's not what I would have guessed. Element, vertical align middle. Hey, that's exactly it. What the heck? Why is that? Okay. Anywho, so instead of input type equals checkbox. Whoops, no, that's not what I want. Checkbox with label input type equals checkbox. Vertical align middle. Right? Box with label on the input, vertical align middle, and then do I have to do like important? Thank goodness, I guess. But why isn't that taking effect? Computed. So I don't see the rule being applied here. I'm just going to put it right here. Vertical line, middle. That's more like it. Now why isn't that wrapping properly like I wanted it to? Label your flex right. Display flex. Because now you're inside. Shoot. A pickle. A pickle. A pickle. Why is layout hard? Okay. Well, I'm going to call it here. CSS is awesome. And what do you know? We've run out of time. But I want to thank you so much for watching episode 78 of The Joy of Coding. I hope this was somewhat illuminating. I hope if you struggle with CSS, then you are just like me. I don't hope that, but I'm just saying that if you do struggle with CSS, you are just like me. I want you to know that I really appreciate you watching this episode of The Joy of Coding, and that next week, like we did this, we got here. Next week I will be doing episode 79. Is there anything else to say about that? Not really. I don't know why I brought that up. Let me know what you thought of this episode. There's a link in the agenda for how you can rate this episode, and let me know what you thought. I read every single comment that comes in. Please comment so that I can get a sense of how you like it and whether or not there are adjustments I can make to improve things. Thank you so much again for watching The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. I will see you next week. Let me switch over here. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.